a new horror film out this week, Drag Me to Hell by Sam Raimi. I've seen the film, I've got the t-shirt, I really enjoyed it. It's a good, nuts and bolts, no nonsense, middle of the road shocker. And I saw it with an audience who were being filmed for one of those adverts that they make, you know, in which you see the audience reaction. And the audience did react exactly as they were meant to. And it was a good, successful, fun, enjoyable horror film. But there are two things that I want to say about it in relation to Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi, as you probably know, is now best known for directing the Spider-Man movies, which are hugely successful. And he is arguably one of the most financially successful directors and therefore one of the most popular directors currently working in cinema today. Drag Me to Hell reminded me in many ways of Sam Raimi's debut feature, The Evil Dead. There are scenes in it which clearly recall The Evil Dead. There's a strange levitation scene. There's lots of cameras rushing along on the floor. There's people being thrown over objects in a way which clearly calls to mind The Evil Dead. And one of the things that Sam Raimi always said was that horror and comedy were very close to each other. It didn't mean that horror was funny or that comedy was necessarily terrifying, but the aesthetic of horror and comedy is very, very similar. He once said that his great influence was the Three Stooges, and that in the case of The Evil Dead, the movie was effectively a Three Stooges movie with blood and guts standing in for custard pies. And certainly when you watch Drag Me to Hell, the kinetic fun of it, which makes you gasp and makes you shriek and makes you smile, is very, very similar to what a good comedy movie does. And it's no coincidence that when it comes to awards ceremonies, the awards don't tend to go to movies that are comedies or horror movies, because generally people who give out awards don't like movies that cause you to gasp or cause you to shriek or cause you to laugh. They like movies that cause you to think and ponder and, of course, cry. The second and perhaps more important point is this. You can now walk into a video store or DVD store and buy an uncut copy of The Evil Dead and you can enjoy it. And it's a really, really rip-roaring fun romp, and clearly it is the father of Drag Me to Hell. But it's very easy to forget that when The Evil Dead first came out in the 1980s, it was caught up in the video nasty scare. And people who were distributing The Evil Dead were prosecuted under the Obscene Publications Act. They were accused of distributing material that had a tendency to deprave and corrupt a significant proportion of its likely audience. Now, some people fought those cases. The distributors fought a very renowned case at Snaresbrook Crown Court in which they won, in which they argued against the obscenity charge. But all over the country, individual video dealers and newsagents pleaded guilty to distributing material, including titles like The Evil Dead, that were being prosecuted under the Obscene Publications Act. And consequently, that film was deemed under British law to be obscene. One of the first interviews I ever did as a film journalist was with Sam Raimi and talking to him about the fact that his movie had been treated so badly in England. It had been cut in cinemas and then banned on DVD and video, or video before DVD, and then finally released in a severely butchered form. And Sam Raimi said something which has really stuck with me. And he said, the thing is, it doesn't matter whether a film like The Evil Dead is cut. What matters is that if you give people permission to decide what you can and can't see, then they will start taking away much more important liberties. The key thing with the Evil Dead case was this. It happened at a time of panic, at a time of crisis. And in times of panic and crisis, people do things that are very foolish. Now, right now, we are in a time of crisis about the subject of piracy. We have regular moral panics about the issue of violent video games. You'll open the newspaper and read that some terrible crime has been attributed to a violent video game. And occasionally, we're told that we need legislation. Drag Me to Hell is a really good, entertaining, fun mainstream movie. But I wondered this about it. If it had come out in 1980 on video, would it have got caught up in the video nasty scare? It's not a particularly gory film. It's certainly not likely to deprave or corrupt anyone. But you know what? When you judge it alongside other titles, like Tony Mellam's The Burning, which were completely innocuous but were caught up in that panic, funnily enough, it may well have done. When you see Drag Me to Hell, enjoy the vibrant talent of Sam Raimi. Get The Evil Dead in its uncut form and enjoy that too. But remember, there was a long battle to get The Evil Dead released uncut. We must never again go back to the time of allowing other people to decide what you can and can't see. Because if they do start making those decisions again, stuff as innocuous as Drag Me to Hell will be next on the list.